Hey there everyone, welcome back to the ship, the garage, and today I'm actually going to be showing you how to convert from electric to gas for your washer and dryer setup. Let me show you how. And so there's many good reasons to convert from an electric dryer to a gas dryer. One of the big ones in my eyes is the cost of electricity. Here in California, every kilowatt actually matters. It's actually quite a bit of money per kilowatt as opposed to other states. So for us, the incentive is pretty great. So from here, an electric dryer would honestly create about a $40 to $60 bump. And we do laundry often. So the price of gas, as well as our water heater being gas and all that stuff, we get to save a lot. So this would be a great incentive to someone who has a water heater that has gas, like if you have gas appliances, but you want to convert over. This dryer takes your standard 110 AC. It's not like a regular electric dryer where you need the 240 stuff. It's the really weird European stuff to run it. So it's easy to run, costs less, and there's nothing wrong with a new washer and dryer. So let me show you what we're going to need to prep in order to get this done.
Alrighty everyone, so the supplies you're going to need, of course you need your Swedish nut lathe. Every household should have one. A light, depending on your situation. Of course you'll need your gas line. And then you'll need your water lines and everything. This is not going to be too crazy part of it. All it is just a white pipe and another set of line for the water if you have a steam washer and dryer. However, really important, and I couldn't get this one undone because I rock. So you're gonna need a 1/2 inch T or a Y pipe. All work. All it is it takes a universal input and creates 2 outputs. Because we only have one output on our current setup, we will need 2, and then that's the job of this T. And that will divert gas not only from our washer and dryer, but also our water heater, which you kind of need. So something you need to keep in mind is, let's get a whole bunch of these. They're 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapters. And reason being is a lot of these weird little lines, I'm talking about those yellow lines, they're 3/8 inch ID threading, and ID means inner diameter, and they don't necessarily fit with the outer diameter of this 1/2 inch adapter. And this is what I mean about these little adapters. You're going to need them, and it sounds really dumb. I mean, if you can get a T 3/8, you can do this without these adapters. However, I could not, because this is a 1/2 inch output. I cannot screw in directly a 3/8 ID input. So that's what these adapters are for. All we're going to do, we're going to take our 1/2 inch and then these adapters, and then we are going to route them in both directions. One for our water heater, also one for our gas dryer. There's a few things we need to do first. Okay. Now, because you want any sort of application that deals with a liquid in a pipe, that means air. It's a liquid technically. You're going to want a perfect seal. So especially with gas, because the whole instant fire to death thing, we're going to take this pipe sealant tape, this PTFE tape, then we're going to line every single screw point or mounting point to each other. And then there's a certain way you need to do it, and I've had to figure it out the hard way. No one taught me this one. Because you screw something on like this, not it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You also have to follow that direction. If you don't, it'll actually unravel. So the way I see it, if you're holding it from the left, it's going to go to the right. in each direction that you would screw something on. So if it's righty-tighty, you would go right, and that prevents it from unraveling as you screw something on. Pro tip. Our kit also came with a tube of pipe sealant, and at this point it's whatever you can use. Let's use it. So all we're going to do is tear this open and put a very small drop on the beginning of your threads. As you thread this on, it'll actually spread throughout, so you don't have to take that time. Another pro tip. Alright, so let's throw our... I want to say that's smaller than a pea. We threw that on. Now we're threading. We are going to now move that out of the way because that will get annoying. Fuck it. Now we're going to thread our T-pipe onto our existing supply, and then you want it very snug. Alrighty, so this is the last 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter I need to prep. So for this one, we are actually going to put a whole bunch of thread sealant, the tape kind. You don't need much, right? So now that's going righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, that traditional fashion. Now we got to do this side. And then as soon as you have your second layer, you technically have your first. And then we're going to put this into our T-pipe. Okay, now that we have our adjustable wrench, we're just going to tighten these properly. That way, we have no chance of a gas leak. Because I don't know about you, but not dying of a fiery death just sounds great to me. And you're not aiming for mega tight. You're not trying to put your body weight into this, but you're trying to make sure whatever's in there ain't coming out. And as with any application, you know, don't force her if she doesn't want to go. But you do definitely want these snug. And then once they're snug, you'll have no problems with gas leaks if you've done the sealant tape correctly. But what you don't want to do is cross thread. However, if you do everything by hand like I do, say if you have to attach multiple connections or multiple bolts to the same components, take the time, hand thread everything, and then when you do that, you mitigate the risk of having a cross thread situation. Just a tip, mind you. Now, it looks like we are all connected. Everything is snug. Everything is to its proper appliance. We're gonna have to restart this, and then we'll test out our connections. There's a very simple way you can do that with your typical big lighter. So let's turn on the gas. And then what we're going to do is actually drag a lighter across every joint just to make sure there's not a gas leak. And so I intentionally put a gas leak here just to show you what it would look like. That would be a gas leak. And you turn that off, make sure it snuffs out, and then we're gonna go into repairing this. And it's the same as your typical install procedure. However, you're just going to readdress whatever it is, i.e. lack of Teflon tape or pipe sealant, and then we can easily try this again. Alrighty, fix it bonus. So, gas is on. Everything is leak free. We've tested it. However, you've got to restart this. Some of this, it just doesn't make sense sometimes. However, through common knowledge, we can help each other. What we're going to do is set it to pilot, right? So, if you notice, this thing turns, but it also pushes in. And that's going to hold the gas open for us. For every water heater in the US, there's going to be what's called a thermopile. What that does is once the pilot light reaches a certain temperature, it heats up this pilot light, or this thermopile. This thermopile is routed in here via these wires, and then it's going to keep a switch open that allows gas to keep flowing. Well, yo, handy Andy, why? So, because this gas is constantly flowing, there needs to be a switching mechanism that can detect when the pilot light is off. So you're not just bleeding gas into your garage and creating a dynamite bomb, you know, right? So the job of the thermopile is, as it heats up, it creates an electrical signal, and it goes into this control module. This control module detects that electrical signal and then enables a solenoid to keep this valve open, allowing gas to flow constantly to the pilot light and to the burners. However, say for some odd reason your pilot light goes out. That means if your pilot light goes out, it doesn't mean that the gas stopped. So your entire water heater is now slowly filling up with gas, as well as your surrounding area. And over time, say the course of a few hours, this entire garage would be filled to the combustion point with gas. So that's why they have those, to stop that from happening. However, there's a special procedure you need to follow in order to heat it up, and I'll show you how. So from here, what we're going to do is push in the knob of your control panel, and now we're going to push the igniter button until we can see a blue flame. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Now there's a blue flame. Now if I let go of the pilot button, see how it went out? So we need to keep this button held down till you hear it click, and then you can let it go and the pilot light stays on autonomously. So we'll be doing that. So there's a couple ways you can detect if your pilot light is on autonomously. Look through your peep window, you'll see a blue flame. You can also look on the status light of your control panel and it'll flash. That and the fact that you don't have to hold this down in order to keep the pilot light on. So from here we could actually alter our temperature controls. I like to keep mine on a safe B for Betty Big Family in the fucking house. So now it just lit the burners. That pilot light right there is what does the entirety of the job. And so from here we're good. We've hooked that up and that's not going to be a problem anymore. And you can tell just with the light alone. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just intimidating because it deals with fucking gas. Okay, now sometime later, so all we did was we took a flathead screwdriver, used the supplied hose clamp that comes with your gas washer or dryer, and then we connected the discharge pipe to the actual discharge tube of our house. And then we have the washer all hooked up, we have the Y pipe going to our steam connection. We tighten that down. Again, typical Teflon tape treatment. Now we can actually turn it on. And the cool part about water is you don't need a lighter to tell if you have a leak. So this seems fine. We'll keep it on. Make sure our hot's turned on. Our water heater shows a normal operation status. Now we can push everything back and we are done. It's that simple, guys.
Alrighty, everyone. That's it. That's all it took. It was a one-tool install. Comes with 2 kits. You're gonna have to buy them, especially if you have a steam or a dryer. You'll have to buy an additional water tubing kit. It's very easy, kind of self-explanatory. But with that, I'm showing you how to install properly a gas line to your gas dryer. And this is an easy way to convert, easy way to save electricity that no one ever thinks of, and you get to update your washer and dryer. I'm Handy Andy. Thank you for watching.